As a real estate agent, you can't sell houses forever and expect to retire magically. You need a retirement plan, therefore you need a retirement team. I'm Voltaire Lepe, CEO of Lepe Temo Properties, top 1% agent in San Diego County. And in this series, it's called How to Build Your Dream Team for Retirement. We're gonna interview several different professionals that you need as a realtor in order to retire one day. Financial planner, estate planner, a lender, and a bunch of other people. So please tune in, listen to this, and retire one day.
Hey, good morning, all you realtors. My name is Voltaire Lepe, top 1% agent in San Diego County. And today we're continuing with our series on having a professional retirement team. That way, one day you can stop selling real estate and just retire. And we all know that part of that plan is usually owning real estate, cash flowing assets that are going to allow you to retire. So today I brought on a good friend, Roberto Kelly. He's a mortgage lender. Roberto, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Voltaire. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, hey, Roberto, we were just talking about this whole thing about a monopoly game and acquiring a bunch of real estate, right? So what's the biggest reason you think a realtor or just anybody that wants to retire would need someone like you on their side?
Okay, great. Would you mind me sharing my screen?
Yeah, I'll give you that access here. And there you have it. You have access now.
Yes, let's do this. Okay, well, to start, I think the reason why they need to always be working with a mortgage lender as myself is because they need to always be ready to play the game on the financial side. As you can see, I call it the refi game. And the refi game is about being ready. So you always have to be ready to take advantage of opportunities when real estate comes in. And what that means is that you need to have what I call an A profile, or you can call it an A plus credit, right? However, the A profile covers every area of your financial profile, meaning, are your taxes being done right? Are you claiming income? Is your credit strong? Do you only have a few credit cards, or do you have too many? Do you have too many liabilities? So what we can help our fellow real estate professionals do is identify the areas where they lack strength and strengthen them. We can have a sit-down consultation Zoom meeting with them, and we can assess where their current financial profile stance is, and then make a roadmap so they can get to a position where anytime they need to do a deal, they are ready to take advantage of the better financial terms and interest rates available for them at that point in time. One thing that people don't consider many times is that getting in the game, on the real estate game, on the monopoly game, starts by owning your first property. Fellas, right. You don't need buckets of cash to buy your first property. I mean, there's no money down deals. There's government financing. There's government rehab financing if you want to buy a property that needs repairs. And there's
so there's a lot of different types of programs, right? And I think, like, for example, I know a 23-year-old realtor. He's telling me that he wants to retire in 10 years, but he doesn't have a roadmap. He doesn't have a game plan. And
right.
Right now his personal debt exceeds any assets that he owns. So I think sitting down with someone like you could sit down, look at their entire profile and say, hey, why don't we start with your first home, right? And you can use a 3% down first-time buyer program to buy your first home. And then after that, we could talk about potential other homes. So I think you would come in handy in looking at their profile and saying, what are your goals, right?
Correct.
How old are you? You're 23? Great. Or, hey, how old are you? Oh, you're 55 and you want to retire in the next 10 years? Yeah. Oh, you have a single family home. You have $400,000 in equity. Let's look at that. Let's see how we could maybe extract some of that equity and buy investment properties. Is that something that you would do for them?
Correct. Whether you're 23 or you're 55, because I actually work with both sides of the spectrum already, there's different strategies that they need to adopt in order to get to that point, right? To give you a quick example, the biggest problem with the 23-year-olds is what you just said. They get into real estate, they start closing deals, they start making money, and then suddenly they go out and buy, a brand new Mercedes or some sort of vehicle that exceeds, a cost from what they're reporting to the IRS, and then suddenly they want to buy property and they don't qualify, right? And then the 55-year-old may have assets that are underutilized, right? Because he could be using those assets to make more money. He could increase his cash flow by having a lower rate or a better program. And then, for a 55-year-old, how do we prepare him so that when he retires, he also converts that house that he currently lives in into a small cash flow machine? So
right.
there's different ideologies when it comes to this, but at the end of the day, the name of the game is always cash flow. They should change the name of Monopoly to cash flow, because that's what it should be. Everybody's worried about having the older properties paid for. No, what you should be worried about is having the higher cash flow possible. That's where I come in. That's where I analyze where they're sitting, where they need to go, or if they're already there, how to maximize that position to get, an edge based on financial possibilities, like right now that we're dealing with extremely low rates, right?
Right. Yeah. So I think that's exactly where you benefit a potential realtor to retire and being part of their team. So,
totally.
So guys, all this stuff that he just went over, thank you for going over it. I think it's very valuable. And again, you need somebody like Robert on your team to guide you and really set up a plan for yourself. And that way, how much to pay in taxes and how much income you should try to generate next year in order to qualify for all these loans. So thanks a lot, Roberto, for your time today. And we'll see each other soon, all right?
You got it. See you guys soon. If you need me, holler.